That's all right. Definition of accountability. So, anybody else here from Michigan? I know we got a couple of Michigan people. Monique, Michigan. Where are you from? Lansing. Am I right about that's the better side of the state? Lansing's the border. 127 is a highway, goes right down the middle of the state. West side's awesome. So, has everybody been to Michigan? Anybody know where Grand Rapids is? Yep. Yep. What's up? Fountains. That's Grand Haven. That's Grand Haven. Grand Haven's got the fountains. That's about half an hour. Sand dunes will be up and down the lake shore. Silver Lake that's fun over there, the sand dunes. Oh, there we go. All right. So the definition of accountability is the obligation, willingness to accept the responsibility or to account for one's actions. Public officials lacking of accountability. So let's all be accountable. I got that off Google. So I would just start with that here. That's the definition of accountability. So why is accountability important? Okay. It fuels teams and businesses. This is not just real estate. This is any business out there. So if we are running other businesses, that's what it fuels teams. And what's going to do is it's going to create a better culture here, builds trust, teamwork. It holds all members, including me, accountable. Okay. With my team, when I do have a couple of agents here, I really do try to be accountable to my team. We do have team meetings quite a bit, and I ask them what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? We just actually had a meeting last week. Took a couple people on the team, some of the higher producers that are dived into accountability, and I says, what am I missing in our training? And I'm blowing up our training. I took notes, and they gave me some really good suggestions. Some of you guys in Clubhouse University have seen my training programs. I'm going to be redoing them because my team's holding me accountable to say, no, this sucks. This isn't relevant. The agent that made these videos is not on the team anymore. She shouldn't be on here, these videos. So things like that. When you do have accountability in your team, it's going to set clear expectations, standards, and it supports the egos. Okay. What's going to happen if you have high level accountability and you're running a team? The turkeys are going to leave. They will leave your team. You don't have to fire the turkeys. They're going to leave because they don't like accountability. That's one thing every turkey does not like. What does not like is accountability. But talk about setting standards here. If you get frustration, that's when the standards become flexible. Okay, think about that in your own personal relationships. Loved one says, I'm going to do this, and they don't do that. They're setting the standard, they're not meeting the standards. That's where frustration lies. So this is going to at least somewhat eliminate a lot of the frustration in your team with accountability. Okay, return on investment's higher than any lead source. We're all spending a lot of money on leads. I'm spending roughly about $50,000 a month right now on leads. Return on investment went up when I invested into accountability, to the point where I'm actually now kind of diving into my numbers, say, do I really need to be spending $50,000 a month in leads? I don't know. Just look at that. So got a couple coaches telling me no. So, all right. So if we don't have accountability, we're not going to have clear standards. Confusion, production goes down, return on investment, money goes down. You will lose team members and business. Okay. Very, very important here. So ways to hold teams accountable. Morning huddles. I implemented, I'm probably about 3 years into these morning huddles. I do my huddles a little differently. I actually have 4 morning huddles. I do one at 7 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, for my VAs. Where I live in Michigan, because my market's different, not everybody has cell phone service because we have some rural areas, and they take their kids to school and stuff like that. So in Michigan, I do 2 different huddles. I do one at 7:30 and 8:30. I give them the choice that they can go to. I don't want any excuses. There's no excuse not to be a huddle when I offer them 2 of them, okay? Because sometimes they're getting the kids off to school at 7:30 and they're driving, and it's very easy to say, hey, just use the app on your phone, your Zoom app or whatever app, but if you don't have internet service, you're not gonna make the huddles. So I offer 2 different huddles for that. My Florida team does have an 8 o'clock huddle because there's internet service everywhere in Florida. They must be daily and early. Okay, so real quick, something about the huddles. Is anybody here not doing morning huddles? Okay. The most important thing about the huddles, my huddles are very, very simple. You got to get yourself out of bed. Okay. If every real estate agent, forget about leads, if every real estate agent just got out of bed at 7:30 to work, think how much money how much production everybody would do here. So I make my morning huddles very short and sweet. I want everybody just to announce what they did yesterday, what are they doing today. That's it. I will do the exact same thing because I am not better than anybody else on my team. So I am the last one to speak. I will announce the team what I did yesterday, how many appointments I did yesterday, what I'm doing today, what my schedule is today. I do end the huddle with maybe like 1 or 2 minutes of something that if I need to announce something, that's what that platform is. I call it a 15-minute huddle. I really try hard to keep it under 10 minutes. Especially I'm doing 4 of them. I'm basically doing huddles from 7 o'clock to almost 9 o'clock in the morning. That's how I start my day here. So, but they have to be daily. They have to be early. Don't do your huddles at 10 o'clock. That means they're going to get up at 9:55. Okay. And I do a huddle at 7:30. We're getting up at 7:25. So I know that's what's going on, but that's okay. But I got them out of bed. All right. Stat tracker. I want us all to write down stat tracker. Stat tracker is something that Club Health has launched. It is awesome. Is anybody here using stat tracker? Cool stuff. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about stat tracker here in a minute. What I do with my stat tracker, I will post it on social media. I try to do it daily. I'm in the process right now of handing that responsibility off to our admin now that we're doing that. And I tag every agent on my team, even the ones that are not reporting their stats on a stat tracker. And I put it on social media. The next thing that I'm going to be doing, actually talk about social media, is I'm about to buy billboards around Grand Rapids and post everybody's stats on the billboards. I'm going to do it. I got it down. So CRM, I check every day. Did you do your activities yesterday? How many activities you got today? Okay. You told me you booked 3 appointments and I don't see them in the CRM. They're in stat tracker, not CRM. You know, I could have missed it. We're realtors. We all got a little ADD, ADHD, and caffeinated, so we all might miss something. But I do monitor the CRM as far as the tasks, make sure the calling lead's not behind on their tasks. And like I said, check tasks. So obviously production. You know, we're looking at my numbers, looking at my income. What I do on my team as far as production is we have a simple Google sheet. I know there's CSU and lots of different fancy things out there we can track where you're at as far as production. I use Google Sheets. It's free. My admin updates it as we add deals and as we close deals. I can go on my phone right now, click on it. I can see my pipeline, my pendings, my bank account. It's all on a Google Sheet there, and our admin updates that. So if anybody sold the house last night, I would go on my Google Sheet and I'll see the pending on there. So lead source and everything's right on Google Sheet here. And yeah, you got to make sure your agents, obviously, this is a job, this is a career. We got to be making money. So make sure you're diving into your agents here. Make sure they're, if you're running a team, making sure deals are closing. So, all right, daily huddles. Everybody announces what they did yesterday. Everybody announces what they're going to do today. One nice thing about our huddles, with our team being so large, it's a very diverse group, different backgrounds, different ethnic groups, everything's different. So it's kind of cool. So if somebody does have an issue, we will mastermind it together. So recently, this just happened, and this is Michigan. We had a seller that decided to man-make his own septic system and install it in the ground. They're coming to me for advice. Oh, so maybe they literally dug a hole and poured their own concrete, and I got a septic system. So in this particular county, interior transfer title, you have to pump and inspect the septic system. It's very common in a lot of areas of Michigan. And the problem is we didn't know where the septic system was because since he did it himself, we don't have a permit. I 24 years. I've never seen this before in my life. This just was last month. It is awesome that we're in a huddle because I had one agent on the team is from the country. He's like, yeah, this is what we're going to have to do here. You know, really broke it down. This is how we do it because apparently that's what they do in Ionia, Michigan. So, so it's nice. It's great. We can mastermind problems together. If there's I never done a deal with this lender, we get to talk about that lender. If someone's done a deal with that lender or that agent, personal people. Sometimes people do bring their personal problems to the huddle. Me being an ID, I'm not a big fan of that, but I understand why that's there. So it gets support there. Again, 15 minutes or less, 8:30 or earlier. And again, it's guys. We're not better than the agents on the team. I've talked to a lot of team leaders who think I'm a team leader, kind of have that tone. You're not better than the agents on your team. You got to be doing, if you expect them to do the work, you got to be doing the work too. So I do the same thing. I'm not going to bring my personal stuff. That's just not what I do. But hey, if I'm having a problem, I'll bring it to the team. I got a lot of smart people on my team. So, and one thing we do is we celebrate victories. I do mine a little different with my brokerage. Has their own virtual thing in there, and we blow a horn every time we sell a house. Anybody on the team blows a A little avatar blows a horn. Find a way to celebrate the victories. Okay, you need it. This is how these people are starting their day. Let's be honest, probably most of the agents are getting up 5-10 minutes before the huddle. They need to start the day with energy and something positive. Okay. And again, like I said, mastermind issues here. Real quick, for those of you guys that are running huddles, try really hard. And I've screwed this up several times. Try not to critique any of your agents in front of their other agents. Only celebrate. You can call them right afterwards and say, hey, we got to have a conversation. But if somebody has a problem and they're dropping the ball on something, just being a little negative or something like that, pull them aside. Don't do it in front of the team. Okay. And to get leads on my team, you do have to be in a huddle. So if you don't show up to the huddle today with my CRM, flip the switch. I don't know. I tell them, everybody on my team says, I check it from time to time. If you're not in, I turn you off. And next time I turn leads back on, I'll make sure you're in the huddle, you're in rotation. So you can if you miss today's huddle, it's possible you're off leads for the whole week. Not very structured in that area, but I just kind of do that that's one area of fear that I still say, you want my leads, you have to be there. And I'll probably look at it again on Friday and see if you're there all week. So, all right, stat tracker here. This didn't come out real well here, but I'm going to show you just a couple things here. Stat tracker, it's things that I like to track. Appointments. Okay, I'm not tracking deals. I'm tracking activities. I like to track appointments. I like to track hours on the phone, not dials. How long were you on the phone? I know if you're in my pond for 90 minutes, you'll have an appointment. So I want to track hours on the phone because you can also get the long conversation. Appointments, hours on the phone. I also do track offers written. I'm not tracking deals on Stat Tracker. Offers written. I implemented that last year because when we had all these deals that were not winning, I wanted to start celebrating the fact that they were writing 5 offers. Okay, it's actually contracts written, it's not offer. So if you took a listing contract, you wrote an offer. Also, my recruiters on our team, if they did get paperwork signed or they were, that all goes in there. Offers written. And then what I do is I've got a little Facebook group called the Last Group Backstage. So the Last Group Backstage is something I got from my coach, Aaron Dressel, at the time, something he does. It gives me an opportunity. It's supposed to be just me talking to the team. Somehow I got over 400 followers on that page. It just kind of happened, which is great. And it gives me an opportunity for some time, put up motivational videos, wish happy birthdays, play with memes. And I also post their stats on there. Okay, I just snip it out and post it on there. I think there's now a thing where you can actually share it right from Stat Tracker. And that's why I post their stuff. And here's what I'm finding is I'm finding my agents on my team that actually won yesterday. They then share my posts. They brag about themselves, about all the appointments they had yesterday. Okay. Now, if you look at this here, I only had 2 people use Stat Tracker that day, previous day's appointment. So they logged it in. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say every agent on the team's using Stat Tracker. If they want leads, they're going to use Stat Tracker. Again, it's just, this is our standards. You want leads, you're on Stat Tracker. If you don't want leads, don't use Stat. There was an agent yesterday, kid you not, last night. So I ran a contest to come. I have 2 agents here. Brittany and Priscilla are here. And to win the contest, it was production and you had to be using Stat Tracker. Okay. My number 2 agent on the team sends me a message yesterday, says, when are we going to California? She sends me that message. I reply, says, I'm in California right now. She goes, oh, I thought I was going. I says, Teresa, Stat Tracker was part of it. She refused to use Stat Tracker. She just doesn't want to use it. So, that's fine. She just, she hasn't got leads in a few weeks and she's not in California. So she hasn't used Stat Tracker since we did. And again, I'm not going to lecture her. I announced it. This is how we do it. This is the standard. If you want the premier stuff, all the bonuses, you have to buy into everything. I'm just setting the standards and it's up to them to decide if they want to do it. So anyway, but the social media elements of this has been huge. I now have 400 people in this group and other agents are now watching the business that our team is doing. I recently recruited an agent in my market, a guy I was friendly with, nice guy. He actually reached out to me. He goes, how do I get that? And I said, well, this is something for my team. He goes, well, how do I sign up for your team? That's how hard it was to recruit him. And that's because of accountability. because of the tools. By the way, if we're all members of Club Wealth, we have this. I don't want to use the word free, it's included. I love when an agent's like, yeah, my brokerage gives me a free CRM. No, it's included. So our results here, clear expectations. Competition is great. I love the competition. Okay. Opportunities for more training here, more closings here, more profits. We're all making more money. Okay. And a much better culture. So I have a lot of time here. That's my presentation, and I'm going to open the floor. I'm going to answer any question, not just about this. I'll answer any question anybody has. So I'm going to start with Liz. Okay. Yay. Yeah. So the question was with my last group backstage, do I invite other people in my market? If I get an impulse to, I'll invite people to. I think I've invited a lot of people to it. Some people came, some people don't, and some people just wanted to join. So, yeah, I will. I'm not opposed to it, and I think it's great advertising for our team. So, that's been a lot of fun. So it's just a Facebook group. That's all it is. So I have invited some. I will from time to time share. The question was, do I share my the post? So my agents have been sharing them. Okay, and they did that on their own. I'm not asking them to do it. It's always going to be the agents that are winning. They're sharing it. So once in a while, I will share it. In my market, we have a company called Blip for billboards, and they're electric billboards. So I can go on my computer and go like that, and then it's on my things on the highway. So that's next that I'm going to be starting next week. Is I want those on the billboards, and somehow take a picture of it and post that on social media. So look at BLIP, I guess it's blip.com. I haven't used them yet, so I'm not endorsing them, but you can actually control how much you spend. Like you can do it for like $10 and have it run 3 times and take a picture of it and put it on social media. So. So the question was, Dawn's always done dials, and I switched to hours. I don't know. That's why I've always done. I've never really focused on dials. I started as a cold caller, and I know I've wasted a whole hour on one conversation before. So that's why I like to say, how long are you on the phone? I like to see everybody on the phone for a minimum of 3 hours a day. Morning time for 3 hours. When I actually have a time blocking course that I do. Excuse me. We'll do an hour on the phone, half an hour stuff, hour on the phone. So. Yep, the question was, I'm here. So the question is, how am I using the CRM as far as accountability? This is what I do. So in our CRM, I can look up to see how many tasks people are behind. Okay. So if someone's way behind on their tasks, you need to get caught up. I will tell you one thing. If any agent on my team is doing 4 deals a month or more, I make them exempt. So they will still be on leads no matter what. If they want the prizes, they have to use Stat Tracker. But if you're doing 4 deals a month, you're an eagle on my team, and you're exempt. I would love for you to do Stat Tracker and everything else. But you'll see Priscilla here. Priscilla's average probably does about 50 deals a year or so, and she's floating around here. And she does use Stat Tracker, but I don't even want to look at her, see her how many tasks she's behind. I know I know it's at least 500, but she's closing deals, so that's okay. I want to see it. Mondays are always going to be higher because you get the task for the weekend here, but I do want to see it under 90. So it's a great question. And the question was, where does the number have to be for tasks to still be on leads? So I want to see under 90. Monday, I'm just, because I know what happened over the weekend. So good. How many groups do I have? Okay. So how many Facebook groups do I have? how many, I just think I have my lead hack group, which has about 4,000 people in there. And that's just those two, I think. I used to have a lot. I used to have a huge following, and Facebook decided I wasn't a real person and took it away from me. So I had to start all over all my social media 2 years ago. So that happens. But that's, I know this is on subject. I am going to say this is something I'm passionate about. All of you social media agents, you can lose it at just like that. The minute Facebook thought I was from Asia someplace posting pictures of a person in a ski mask and a bloody knife, and they said, no, that's, you know, send us your ID to verify you're not in the Philippines. Like, all right, here's my ID. No, no more Facebook. So you have another question? Yep, I love listening to leads. If you didn't see her, yeah, listening to leads does have a So listening to leads is a little, listening to leads is a great lead source. You can customize your landing pages. So I like to do home value stuff. We'll just pretty much go to my seller's pond, and I have VAs working on those. Not VA, I do have ISAs working on those. I'm actually also using now listening to the leads for cash offers. We're playing with that. That's again going to an ISAs. So. Mm-hmm. 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 Donnie and I were having this conversation just yesterday. So my coach encouraged me. I was always a very quick to fire guy. I do love everybody on my team, but you know, I wanted a certain, you had 100% buy-in. So Michael made me stop firing, and we created what's called the B team. So the B team is you get full access to my CRM, full access to our pond, full access to me. You get every single thing except for leads and accountability. So if you're not, I have a lot of, I bet you I have 20% of my team that doesn't want to use Stat Tracker, that doesn't want to go, they come to the huddles and just inconsistent. They're fine. I made about $50,000 this summer for my B team. Do the ROI in your head when I did not invest any leads to that. So, and I love them. And it was initially we initially developed it for agents that were, hey, I have a job, but I want to be a real estate agent. I want to do this full time, but I have to do this to quit my job. So that's what we invented the B team for. It's turned into something else where like, hey, you can't handle my accountability. You can't handle the leads. You're welcome to be on the team. You can go to our team parties, events. You're going to get all the invites, be part of the cool kids club. It's been a nice. So, yep. Yes. So the question was, do I make my Eagles go huddle? That is one thing. I want my Eagles on the huddles. So to be, we have an elite team, A team, and B team. The elite team is going to be the Eagles. And that means you're going to have to be a squad. That's where you can be a squad leader on my team, and that you do have to go to the huddles. I don't dive into Stat Tracker, and I don't track their tasks as much. So, Lynn, did you have a question? Yep. That's funny. So the question is how did my Florida team come about? I hope Kelly doesn't watch this video, but I have an agent on my team named Kelly Davidson. Some of you might know Kelly. I love the heck out of Kelly. She was in Michigan. Single mother of 5 kids, broke up her boyfriend and said, I'm going to move to Florida. So she went to Florida. She left my brokerage, went back to the old big box brokerage. And she actually was just saying, hey, if we're doing what we're doing in Michigan down here in Florida, we'd be crushing it, because even though there's 1 million agents down in Florida, nobody works. So to prove Kelly wrong, which is the biggest mistake in the world, I said, fine, let's just go 2 weeks with leads and see what happens. And she writes a $700,000 deal. Living in Michigan, writing $700,000 deals in Florida is pretty cool. And I said, she wrote that deal. I went home and told my wife, like, I have a team in Florida. I was like, this is how I have it. So I never got my real estate license in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and say, I'm going to take over Boca Raton. So the next thing, one of my business philosophies, everything I do, I want to make it scalable. Everything I'm doing in Michigan, it actually works better in Florida due to lack of competition, even though there's more agents. It's like the leads are cheaper. Everything was cheaper out there. I don't quite, I still have a hard time wrapping my head around it, but it's literally, it's the exact same CRM. It's the exact same stuff. So I just duplicated what I did. So No, he didn't. So think referral fee. That's how she's running the business. That's how I'm paid here. So I'll get you 1 second. Go ahead. That's right. What's your name? Char. Oh, yeah, I know Char. Yep. Yeah. So usually what I do, and I did this one a little differently. Usually what I do, if you hit X, you're going to get a ticket to the event. You hit Y, you'll get a ticket and a hotel. You hit Z, you're going to get the whole package. Okay. When I launched that tracker in May, I just said, hey, I'm going to send everybody out here. So that's what it was. And then what I do when I do these contests, really, I think I do it the wrong way because it's a long contest. But within the contest, I'll surprise everybody. Say, hey, it's Friday. We're in our morning huddle. Anybody sells 2 homes this weekend, you're going. So I'll just splash, like that. So it is a long contest, but we'll do whatever it is, and that's how Brittany, who's here, that's how she won it. Was I think it was 3 in a weekend. If you pended 3 deals this weekend, I'm sending you to California, and I announced that in the huddle. So those who didn't come to the huddle didn't know about that. Okay, so that one agent who, frankly, Teresa's probably my number 3 or 4 agent producer in my team, and I love the heck out of Teresa. She's really killing it. I actually said, let's go out to lunch. We haven't caught up in a while. I took her out to lunch, and I just said, hey, we've talked about this. You can go if you dive into this right now. We had that conversation early on, and I'm expecting you to go. And I'll do it. And yesterday, when is California? So, but I didn't call her out on it. I didn't go to the morning huddles. I didn't say, Teresa, you're not going. I just, I set that expectation. So, and she's. Yeah, when the other 2 agents are posting stuff on Facebook about being in California, then she sends me a text. What? Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the question is, how am I tracking lead generation time? I am not a micromanager. They are adults. I'm not. Okay. I'm expecting them, if they want leads, they have to log them in. If they don't want leads, that's okay. There's somebody else who might want them. So, yeah. So the question is, what about the tasks? So we have different action plans depending on the seller, buyer, A buyer, B buyer, C buyer action plan, new internet lead action plan. I'm going to say probably off the top of my head, about 90% of the tasks is actually call the lead. We actually double dial the lead. So that's 90% of the tasks. From time to some of the tasks are also suggest a home. So if there's a buyer on whatever day it is, you need to suggest a home to them. That's another task that we have. But majority of the tasks are their phone calls or some sort of text message. So thanks. Okay, so the question is, what are my best lead sources and how do I manage lead flow? So when I look at lead sources, I'm looking at 2 different numbers. We keep talking about return on investment. That is only one number. Okay, the second number I'm looking at is cash conversion cycle. How quickly does it take to close the deals? So for instance, if I'm boosting a post on Facebook, Facebook leads will take me roughly about 18 months to close on average. I mean, you can't get a come list me and stuff like that. It's roughly about 18 months. And I think that's my market, but I'm thinking that's going to be probably pretty close to industry standard, 1 to 2 years, somewhere around there for just clickbait. I can get Facebook leads for $2. So you could do the math in your head, return on investments. However, I can't tell an agent on my team says, hey, I'm going to get you a bunch of leads, and then 18 months from now, you're going to make a lot of money. Okay. So that's my social media. My Google payable per click stuff is going to be roughly about 140 days. Zillow I lose money on Zillow. It's a loss leader for me. My cash conversion on Zillow is roughly about 60 days. Okay. Last year, my ROI is 1.04. So for every dollar I spend, I made 4 cents on Zillow. I'm actually a little behind, but my agents are going to get paid in 60 days on average to Zillow. So I like Zillow, even though I'm not making money on it. I'm going to reevaluate if I want to keep going that route, as we're kind of tweaking a few things. So we have a lot of different lead sources, but that's the 2 things that everybody's got to look at. It is not just return on investment. So the average person's going to tell me, Jason, you should not be doing Zillow because even though you made 4 cents, we put in time, coaching and all that. I lost money on Zillow, but my agents get paid in 60 days. And meanwhile, I'm closing those Facebook leads from 2021 right now. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Yep. So the managed league for I got A team, B team, and elite team. B team gets the pond. That's it. That's all you get. You're in a personal sphere. You can do client appreciation parties, bring people there, but I'm not going to invest new leads to the B team. A team is going to be roughly about 80 to 90% of the leads. The elite team is going to get my higher priced Zillow zip codes, and they're going to get my personal referrals. So if anybody here says, Jason, I got a buyer moving to Grand Rapids, you got an agent on your team, they'll take it. Yep, that's going to go to my elite team. I am not sending that to a B team. And I'm not going to send it to an A team. These are the people that are closing the most deals. So the question is, how many people do I have in each of these teams? That number can change from week to week. If you didn't use Stat Tracker last week, you're not getting leads this week. If you didn't go to the huddle, so B team could be bigger right now than it is tomorrow. I would say my elite team. My elite team, I think, is 3 agents. I got 1 in Florida, 2 in Michigan. So that would put roughly about 20 agents or so on either A team or B team. Off the top of my head, I would guess I probably got 7 or 8 B team members right now. And that's off the top of my head, so don't quote me on that. That's a great question. Good. Right. So the 2 questions are, am I requiring open houses, and how do I keep agents motivated? Open house is something I've been a little slow to the game for. I implemented open houses this year, and I go back in my forth about forcing open houses. I really feel I should be doing more in open houses. That's not a strength in my business. We did start implementing them about 6 months ago, and we've closed deals out of it. So I actually got an offer on my listing yesterday because of an open house. So we are bringing back open houses. What I would like to do is maybe some of the lower tier A team, they're going to have to do open houses. I will even count that as an appointment. I want to clear that with my coach. So if you're doing open houses, and to ask the question again about how am I keep people motivated, no matter what's happening in my life, I'm going to try really, really hard to fake positivity for a little while. You know, we all got crap in our life. We've all have things going on. So that morning huddle, I got to be the preppiest, or not preppiest, the most excited person in there. A lot of coffee, and I'm leading by example. So that's what I'm going to be when we're doing call days. I'm on the phone with them. I actually come out of my office. I'll go into, we have a little war room. I'm in the war room making calls with them. So I want to make sure every person on my team knows that, again, I am not better than them. We all just have different roles. So you take the buyers, you take the sellers, I'll take the systems. We're all going to work together. But when we do call days, I'm working with them. I'm going to grind it out with them. Hopefully that answers it. But again, I'm not a micromanager. If you can't get your butt out of bed, you probably should go get a job. So go ahead. Mm-hmm. So the question was, how do my squad leaders compensated? There's a couple different ways. With my brokerage, we do have revenue share. So I do, they're going to get some people put into their downline with my brokerage. I pay them 2.5% of what their squad does. And you get the elite leads. So I'm sorry, what was your question? Oh, 3 of them. Okay. Well, how we go wrong about it. So how do they qualify? So accountability. So to qualify to be on the A team, you need to be booking an appointment a day, 5 a week. Okay. To be on an elite team, you have to be booking 2 appointments a day or doing 4 deals a month. So the question was, how many people do I got on my B team? Well, I don't know. It could be a lot different next week, depending on how everybody did. And I don't announce it. It's not like I'm calling you up, say, hey, I got bad news. You just went to the B team. I don't have that conversation. That's how it is. Yep. So that's question number 1. She's got 2 more. What was your name? Thanks, Melissa. Okay. So the question is, how do I work in social media communication? I think social media is a giant time suck. I don't count it. Okay, so I teach time blocking. So you should have a couple stuff times during the day, and that's a great time to make a post on social media or reply to a message. But I could not tell you one agent in my market that's a social media agent that's doing 25 deals a year from social media. So I do use social media. It's one of my pillars. It's gonna be a lot different, a lot of everybody else. Most is more just making a post and boosting it and trying to capture information. But yeah. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So the question is, how do I deal with um, agents, I guess, being loud while being on the phone together? I can be loud. That's a good question for them. I do have a closet. We have a coat closet, and I put a desk in the coat closet. Actually, Brittany's here. She goes in the coat closet and closes the door because me and there's another agent on my team, a lovely lady named Celeste. But between the two of us, we can suck all the air out of the room when we talk. So I put a headset on and go. Have a good headset and have a noise canceling headset. That's all I can recommend. But I like it being in the same room here, because the other thing is here as a team lead is that, one of my agents is on the phone. I get to treat them, say, hey, don't say that next time, say this. This will be a better way to do it. And they see me making the same phone calls and hearing me. So I'll come right back to you, Linda, here in a second. Yeah. In the back. So how do I keep my ISAs accountable? I just switched to a new ISA company 2 weeks ago. So I was using VAs. I still have one VA making calls. He's logging stuff in Stat Tracker. I do a morning huddle with my VAs at 7:00. And they're in the Philippines. I have two VAs. One is just kind of admin, general, and the other one is a cold caller. We just switched to an ISA company. I am testing that out. But same as everybody, they use Stat Tracker and morning huddle. So if anybody's using any VAs, getting face-to-face with them, we use Facebook group chat. I forgot what they call it. I think it's group chat. That's how we do it. It's great being on camera. Zooms works fine too. Yeah. So I that's important that I don't want that to be a conference call, but that makes a big difference here. Linda, and then I'll get you next. I'll tell you next. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the question is, if you're on A team and you had a bad week, do you automatically go down to B team? No, first of all, let's have a conversation. If you're sick or something like that, I'm not going to be a jerk about it. If you're on vacation, you took the week off, I'm at least I'm not gonna say I'm not a jerk, but in that area, I'm not a jerk. So, but the reason why I don't adjust it every day is because you could have a bad day. Okay, so if you book 5 appointments on Monday and suck the rest of the week, you booked your 5 appointments for the week. If that makes sense. But talk to me. I mean, if you had a Fluffy has a hurt paw, and you had to take the day off because whatever, that's fine. So. Mm-hmm. So how do I manage my squad leaders here? I've played around with it a lot. I screwed it up again this time around, so that it should be changed every quarter. You want to have a new squad. Try your best to get new people in the squad each time. With my brokerage, if they recruit somebody in, so they're getting revenue share, I do try to keep those people in that same squad, so they just stick with that person. My squad leader's job is to answer all the "what do I say" questions. Or if it's Saturday night, don't want to answer the phone, call the squad leader. Okay, I'm in California, call your squad leader. So that's what it's more of just support for me. Yeah, they're not going to get rich. You're not going to get rich on being a squad leader. And I have had agents say, I just don't want to deal with that. It's not worth. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. So my squad leader in Florida is really, she's doing trainings and all that stuff. I sometimes I would rather do the trainings myself. But they'll take the squads out to lunch. I have a lender take my squad out to lunch and stuff like that. And I like that. I mean, and then we will sometimes run games and competitions in between the squads. So again, competition's good. What's up, Cal? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a great question. So when I implemented Stat Tracker, how did I get my, and we talked a lot about this actually at Coaches Day. So I grandfathered all of my old agents into this, and they didn't have to use Stat Tracker. So the people have been with me for a while, they didn't have to. They can't go to California. Okay, so when we do contests and stuff, you can't win it. So I'm always running some sort of game or some sort of contest. So you're not participating. But if you know, I have Teresa doesn't buy into Stat Tracker. That's fine. She doesn't have to. She's grandfathered in. She's a great agent. I love the heck out of Teresa. She just can't come to California. Okay. And then by the way, I'm tagging her in every post. We're celebrating the other people who are winning. Kelly booked 3 appointments yesterday. Congratulations, Kelly. And post everybody's Stat Trackers. You're not up there, but you're tagged in it. Very passive aggressive. I get that from my mother. So, good. What's up, Pete? So my ISAs booking appointments for my agents. So my ISAs only do that for elite team. Okay. If you're not booking appointments yourself, you're not getting appointments from me. So that's a great question. What's up, Linda? Sure. The business I'm using is not Club Wealth approved. So I'm looking around. I don't know. I don't know what I can and can't say here. They're not Club Wealth approved, and I've been using them for 2 weeks, and we're working out some quirks, but I am confident about it. So, what's up, Liz? Can I repeat the qualifications for elite A and B teams? So everybody who qualifies for B team, okay, you're all welcome to join my team on the B team. A team is you have to be booking an appointment a day, but I adjust that on Monday. So you had to book 5 appointments last week. Okay. By the way, an appointment isn't just a lead. We also say if you can call a past client that you haven't talked to in 90 days and take them out to coffee, that's an appointment. Okay. Don't go to a party where there's 10 people there and say I had 10 appointments. So, but if you reach out to a past client that's been more than 90 days, take them out to coffee, that's an appointment. So again, I don't understand why you can't have 5 appointments. Okay, good. Take a friend out to coffee and talk about real estate. I mean, there's some honor in it. Give me some, I mean, I'm not following them around to make sure they're checking Starbucks. I mean, I got 5 minutes. Oh, I'm done. So A team is 2. A team is 2 of them. One more question. A team is 10 in a week. 10 in a week. Elite's 10 in a week. A team's 5 in a week. No, but if you're doing 4 deals a month, you're automatically on the elite team. Okay. New appointments. Yay! All right, good. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah. What's up?
You released them in your leading round.
First to claim.
First to claim.
Yep.
Okay. How's the pond getting? Does the pond just like over